I got 41. Yeah, I got the
Yeah,
41.
that's the big boy.
Yeah, I
That's the
do. You know, Wander, listen, I know we live now and we still talking, but me and Wander go back, right?
you going in the field.
Yes,
You
sir.
going out there.
Yes,
You
sir. You
going
know,
out.
when I'm out there on reconnaissance, I need to make
Mm.
sure that I have enough room to carry whatever I'm bringing. So, what's KP? What's up with you, man? What's up with you, man?
I'm just being a student of James Hicks.
Student. No,
A student of James. That's I'm being a student.
that mean you didn't pull out either the ATM, the
Mm.
debit, or you didn't messed around and did well. Okay, you didn't bought something at B&H, didn't you? That's what it is.
No,
Shouts out to the
you know
people
what?
coming in.
I ain't been bothering. So I reached my height. I reached my I'm sticking to the plan that I said. I wanted to get to a point where I got out of the game of just gear
Okay.
and simplify it. And I'm in the simplification stage.
Well,
That's
you
where
got
I'm
a
at.
you got a long way to go because you got a lot of stuff, right? I mean, last couple of weeks we had some new lights in the environment there. You had some bendable joints going on, and I don't know what's going on, man.
And I still didn't use them yet. Like
See,
I still
Lord
didn't
have
go in the
mercy.
field and use them. And I'm you know what I'm fighting with? Flash photography and continuous. And so
Okay.
I'm just a little like I'm not sure because I know I can pull off continuous, but I'm kind of thinking like, wait a minute, am I going to do flash or continuous? So I really have to like research into what kind of look I'm looking for.
Got you.
That's the
Okay.
thing. And so my big bro is in here, the fireplace.
Yes, sir.
He is here.
Yes, sir. We got talking about he a student. No,
Nah, he's a celebrity.
Yeah,
He don't need to be bothered with what we doing. He the man. He the guy I put in my lens.
That's true. That's
how that worked.
Listen, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh my god. I know we both rocking this bright red, and we looking
How
good on
about
you.
that?
I mean, that was just karma, intuition. I said,
I'm loving that hat.
Come on.
You and Irv got them hats, man. So I never did that hat yet. And going bald, I was like, I started experimenting with hats, right?
Yeah.
And so this is one of my little signature things, the brimless. But I wanted one, I wanted one of them joints. That thing is right though. I like that.
I'll hook you up with the Haberdash.
Irv been rocking hats forever, so I'm like, all right. I know he know the hats. He got the wide joint, the short joint.
See, Dr. Fryer got, he got some of that NFL. Listen, he can get what he want to get, right?
Yeah, right.
He don't have to wait till his own sale and clearance like I do.
In another ballpark, you know what I mean? He done been there, did that, done that. You know
what I'm saying? He early round draft pick, so he got some things, and he
right. But you wearing the hat, bro?
On Dr. Urban Fry. Okay, y'all. That's who I'm talking about. So
you wearing that hat though, man?
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. I wanted to step it up. I redid. We always talk about a little technology and about the environment. I redid lighting in the studio to be more muted. Right. I don't know if you kind of noticed that I changed.
I like the dark side. My lights is bright as heck from the client, but I was just like, I don't feel like changing it. But I like that subtle look is dope.
That's what I'm going for. I'm going for the subtle, not overly saturated, not overly bright, but just right in between, So we evolve, always doing something new, trying to keep folks on their toes.
Right.
You see, I got my blue cords in, my hex code 20557B. I know my hex code. That's a shame.
That's good, man.
I'm just a nerd, but I know my hex code.
No, you hitting it, man. So, yeah. Thanks to you, man.
Yes, sir.
For putting me up on the bag because I was
God. Literally the bag,
dude. So Wander products for right now because I was really digging that Peter McKinnon stuff, right? And the sling missed it. The Peter McKinnon sling missed it for me. And the backpack is fire though. The Peter McKinnon backpack is fire.
It is. I had it in my hand too. Listen, I was at my local shop and I had it in my hand. Yeah.
The sexiness ain't working for me. So for me, I got to be able to present myself and it's got to have an appeal because it all goes with branding, if you will, which I
Yes,
don't want to
sir.
use that word. Shout out to PJ PJ Owens. He's one of my mentors in branding or but okay, so for yourself, selling yourself, I'm meticulous about even down to a bag,
Hmm.
right? Like I'm not just gonna get a dope bag and be like, oh, this is the best bag on the planet. Like my other bags, the other ones I showed you, what's the name of it?
Was those the peaks?
Remember no, not that one. Remember the other two that most people their bags are expensive in the leather, but it's good for when I'm going out, but it's not like the full practical bag.
Got you.
It's matter of fact, let me get this sucker off the wall. I love this bag. This is actually one of my favorite bags. Um, Owner. I don't know why I couldn't get the name. I did a whole review on this, the Owner bag, because it doesn't look like a camera bag. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's like it doesn't look like a camera bag. So when I have it, it's kind of like when I used to rock a lot of Toomey bags and stuff. Most of the time when you go somewhere, most people are not really thinking this dude's got a camera in the bag. It just looks like a man purse, like
Yeah.
sling or satchel, right? It's got the nice grab handle on here, which Wandered has. That's dope. But it's not really a camera bag. This is called I'm going out on a date with my wife. And she like, don't start all that photography stuff and you put like a small, small lens like the 55 Zeiss in there on your body and just call it a day.
Yeah.
And just, you kind of play low key and you just got to say, oh, this is my car. I need it for my car keys and stuff. But Wandered, they have, they nailed this sling.
They hit it.
And you know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you why I like the Wandered because it's like the Owner bag. The reason why I got the Owner is because it opens out from inside out, not outside in.
Yeah.
If you outside in, you lean over, all your stuff done fell out.
Yeah. That's the practical piece of it right there, right? A lot of folks don't think about that. They just see all the straps, the loops, the pockets, and all that. But when you out there and you got heavy camera gear, whatever, man, you don't want to drop it into the ocean or off the
Yeah.
bridge like you out there riding a bike and man, you don't want to do that.
Listen, because you know what I thought about, and now I get why people do product research
Mhm.
and they ask people when they design stuff, but they ask particular people, especially now in this social media age, they're going to ask people that show the evidence that you dig in and you use it. And I'm gonna drop a nugget on everybody. This
Come
is
on.
crazy. I hate that word nugget, but I'm gonna drop a jewel gem, something whatever. You know what Wandered said to me? They said, we want you to do something. And without telling everything that they want me to do, one of the things they were coming at me with was, we just want you to be you,
Yeah.
right? Because we're on to you based off of you doing what you do and incorporating our stuff. So the thing with most people I'm realizing and some feedback I've been getting is some of the stuff that you and I have been talking about theme wise, people that chase the bag so much, they miss the way to get the bag is not to chase the bag.
Mm.
It's just be yourself,
Be
right?
yourself.
And I think sometimes people miss because they're sitting around bored, they're not stepping into the creative person, and they're looking like, oh, okay, oh, Keith got the attention of fellow, right? And then everybody got coffee cups. It's like you wasn't even messing with coffee cups yesterday. Like, like if I'm coming into a lane that you've been doing, then you can be inspired by somebody that's doing this. So if you always on your mics and testing them and stuff, and then it's like, oh, I look at you and it's like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna be on with Shore. You like, oh yeah. Well, you got the stuff that we got the stuff to evidence this is what I'm into.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people don't have the stuff to evidence that this is what you're doing. It's like you just wake up out of your sleep and like, oh, I'm shooting with 24 millimeter. No, you're not. You were just talking about the 70 to 200 zoom.
Yeah.
Like, well, like you ain't in the prime lenses. So it's harder to get the attention when people, they'll feel when you just jumped at it just because. They'll feel it.
You
And when you in that space of like, I'm just doing me and I'm just shouting y'all out,
yeah.
they like, oh damn, like we like what you doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you
That
go
this is
ahead.
that new industry, new category of creation, right? It's everyone's
Hmm.
calling it UGC, user generated content, right?
Nice.
See, no, so
Okay.
that's the new thing, and the fact is, brands, especially the bigger brands, yeah, they got budget and marketing, but it's so much more advantageous for them to reach out to folks who actually use the gear and, like you just said, are in their own element. We just tell you we want to work with you. We either send you something, we put you on retainer, we send you some checks, whatever the case may be, but we're not going to put any boundaries on you. You go out there and do this user generated content in your own element. You're out there at the water, you're out there on the bike trail or whatever, and you submit that to us. You post that on your social, tag us, and then they'll mushroom it out. That's kind of this next evolution of content creation and creators of any size reaching
Right.
out to brands. So you are already two steps ahead of what a lot of other folks are looking to
Oh
now start getting into. Come on, KP,
man, let me
you over.
tell you tips, because one thing I like about the photographer community is it's not a lot of pissing matches going on,
Mm,
right? Photographers are more like, yo, you got photographers that's like, and I'm not, people can understand what I'm saying when I say this, like weird, right? Like you can call me weird as a photographer because it's like, yo, whatever I'm pointing at. So if I'm pointing at stars or a bug or an ant crawling, that's what I do as a photographer. If I'm just shooting black and white, photographers don't really get in each other way. And the bag chasers really stand out. They like, oh,
true.
I'll do your prom shoot, or I'll do, this, that, and the third. They'll rarely say I'm gonna do a wedding because they know you can't jack that up. You can't hustle that.
Yeah, don't
The
mess
other
that up.
ones, you just take a couple of nice shots with that new lens, and the girl go, it looks great. And you get the bag and run. But what I'm noticing, like you said, the user, right? Today, I just experienced. So Wander put up the video with me on their website now, the reel that they put up.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally did it on my phone, and I think I was wearing this shirt and these glasses. Ironically, I think I was wearing the exact thing. And what I did was, I didn't change my what's his name? I had the focus. I was sitting there like, why is the focus doing something stupid? That's because I had two people sitting here at the desk. But what happened was I sent them a video while I was in the camera store. And I
Mm,
was like, hey, they selling your product. And I seen this orange one up here. I got to add this to the collection. And that's the way they captioned it. They said Keith Pelzer is adding to the, collection. And so when they, I thought they were, so I'm doing some other work, and I thought that they were waiting on that. They dropped the phone thing and was like, yo, we
bruh.
just screenshotted it. And they put it up on their website. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'd have gave you something, a little bit better. But, nonetheless, I'm cool with it because I got something else for them. But that right there was basically, yo, I like your stuff, and I'm using it, and I'm just showing you this is what I do with it. So here's the whole point. A guy said to me, he inboxed me and said, yo, I'm loving this bag right here. He
Mm,
said, because of you, I'm getting one. And then he put in there on the purchase, recommended by Keith Pelzer.
go ahead,
I
brother.
was like, my man. I was like, my man. So to your point, James, and I'm gonna pull back, but to your point, it's what you said, user generated.
Yeah.
It's like, because the guy knows me, he's like, oh, I see you. And it's like, yo, okay, you like that because I like your flow and stuff. I want to try that out. First of all, I like the way it looks. So that's the thing most companies, they struggle with, like, do I want to wear that? I like the way it looks. Then it
Hmm.
has to be, is it practical? Because then here's the user that I don't really care too much for. You know damn well that what you got is not dope. It just looks great, but it's the worst piece of gear you got. And you telling everybody, oh, this is the best bag on the planet. No, it's not. No, it's not. It looked good. We can agree with that, but it sucks.
That's true. You don't even like it. You can't even. God, you out here posting this, trying to chase a check when you don't even like this. Come on.
But you see that? Wait. What do you got up there?
This is
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
this is your
okay.
IG.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's my page. Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that was
because
my
you've been
page.
active. Listen, you've
I
been a little
forgot.
active out there, brother. You know,
I forgot that was my IG. I was looking like, is that another website? Like,
you've been active out there in them streets. Let me see here.
yeah.
Hold on.
Well, which was okay.
See,
And you know what? I shot that the same day as I did the backpacks. That's on
this
the same day.
this boy out here working and loving what you're doing. That's why you out there doing so much of it, right? You're doing so much of it, but maintaining the quality, right? Because a lot of times we can oversaturate the market with stuff, right?
Yeah.
We can post too much, we can blog too much, we can stream too much, but what you're doing right here, each instance, each time that you're out there, it looks different enough, different environments, different places. Like you were, is that the same
Mhm.
place where you took those shots at Tina?
Yes, it actually is.
Okay,
It's a different angle from so that's Valley Forge Park.
okay.
Yep.
And the only reason I know that's because I studied all them pictures. I said, man, look at this boy. I'm looking at how he's using the light and then how you end up doing some Lightroom work. But again, they
Mhm.
all look so different that again they're valuable to if you were marketing this to like those leather straps that you got on. They would be dope
Right.
with that. The glasses, you got the brimless hats. You ever tagged them? Hold
Mhm.
on, you tagging people? Come on, man. Why are you not tagging these people in the
I didn't well, I didn't tag well, I tagged most of the people. So
dang
like
man?
Hold Fast, let me tell you, man, Hold Fast is the
There
bomb,
you go.
bro.
Yeah, there you go.
Like Hold Fast gear, I got on that ladder back there, I got straps, man. And I'm gonna get another strap because so here's another thing. I did an event the other day just as a photographer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was some dignitaries in the room, X, Y, and Z.
Go ahead.
And so if I was doing like some kind of master class or coaching or something to photographers, I'm like, one of the dopest ways to get that next good bag, right? The goodie bag, not the chase the bag, but the goodie bag is presentation is everything.
Yeah.
So here's where it gets mixed at. And I'm laughing because the new ZV is out, right? That's not interchangeable
Man, ain't
lens.
nobody. I'm sorry. Okay.
And I'm like, no, this is good. I'm glad you're saying that. Now, here's the funny thing. If they had released it in reverse, right? Especially in our set community that we know that we broadcast from now, everybody's dumping in there. Somebody does the dumbest thing. They put up the post like, oh, the new such and such is coming out. Then everybody chasing that, right? And they, oh, I got the new one. And then they come in, oh, can't wait to unbox it. Then we got the dumb unboxings, right? Unnecessary, right? And it's like, it don't have an interchangeable lens, number one. Then number two, if they put that ZV1 out afterwards, then it's like, yeah, look at the price. Goodness gracious. Like, and all you doing is streaming with it. Like, come on,
Folks.
people. I just put my old camera on because I needed it for a session and I tethered the computers, right? And the shot was so beautiful. And they were like, well, what camera is that one? And I looked and I was like, that's the A5100 with the 50, I think it's a 55 135 lens or something. I was like, they both kit. It's a kit lens on the old camera, but the shot was so clean from where it was coming from. I was like, y'all don't have to do all of this stuff. So when we talk about leveling back, there's a place where you pause, right? And you say, am I going to keep staying in the buying game or the building game?
Come on. There we go.
Right?
Here we go. Yes, sir.
The buying game keeps buying on a bunch of stuff that you never build on. So when you think about building on it, like for me, I'm telling you, A5100 is really like the majority of the camera I got in this room. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 5 A5100s in here.
And they serve their purpose for the reason that they don't move. They're stationary.
Right.
You don't need all of the whiz bang gadgetry and things of that nature. It does what it needs to do in that environment. And you probably read the manual. So you probably know what it can and cannot do.
Right.
Right. Which is put you in the minority already by actually having that wherewithal to say, I got this piece of gear and this is what I want. First of all, I know what do I want to do? Where am I going to put it? And then you went out there and bought a handful of them. You mounted them, did all the things, and you're not trying to expect. I'm not going to put any words in your mouth, but you're not trying to expect it to do more than it's actually capable of doing, or more than you need it to do.
Hey,
Wh-
wait. You just hit something I thought about, and this is something that people need to know that most people don't think about. When you read in between lines, here's something we've heard, but most people don't let it sink in. They'll say, "Hey, so I got the new Sony blah blah blah
Mm,
A1.5," and they'll go, "My reviews on YouTube, yada 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 yada." Then everybody got gas, gear
mm,
acquisition syndrome, right? Especially if they can afford it. And then after a while, you hear it's like, "Yo, you know, it only has this much better than my A1, and the new A1.5, I might get this later on." And then you go, wait a minute, you're like Manny Ortiz or somebody, you like, I might. You like, wait a minute, so you don't have it. And they like, yeah, I gotta send it back in 2 days. Or I had it and it was dope. And then when you look at the rest of their like Instagrams and stuff, they pulling out the A7
the old
III.
joints that they've been
I
using.
mean, just
Yep.
boom, 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 FX3, you know what I mean? They don't care, and
Yeah.
then they put it red out over here or something, and you like, so dude ain't even got that joint. Nope. So it's kind of like,
Or he's got it and he's not even using it.
right, or not
Right.
using it.
Yeah.
So now you have to separate yourself from, are you actually a reviewer or somebody that just want to,
Mm.
you
Come on
know,
now.
buy
Come
something
on.
to say you bought it,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, it's going to show when you're not using it. That's the
Yeah.
that's the key thing that I'm learning, that, I don't want to talk too fast on it, but it's just like I'm in execution mode. I'm a creative, right? Been a creative since the early, 1980s, right?
Mhm.
I've
Mhm.
been in that zone, and I'm coming into circle of it now, of, not talking about it as much, but being about it. And being about it is actually a happy place to just do it. So I got about 8 photo shoots in my head that I don't have a particular person. It's just, yo, I want to create X, Y, and Z. And then what happens is it comes to you. I just got my son a job, hooked him up.
Like that.
Went Somebody asked me to come do their daughter's prom shoot. Couldn't
Yeah.
make it, right? So I was like, you know what? I'll send my son down there. I sent him down there with the 70 to 200 millimeter lens.
Okay.
I got 3 people hit me, was like, yo, man, he had the ball, the big deal. And I know how that looks. So my kids got a little class style, and he's standing there with my A7C that he kind of snatched
Straining.
from me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Straining
he
because
got
it's a big
the
fella. Yeah.
A7C, and he holding up the 70 to 200. And people don't really know what it really does. They don't know compression. Me and him talked about it,
Mhm.
but he's sitting that joint. They like, he came in with
He
the
getting
big
all the
dog.
shots. He getting all the shots.
So, so shout out to my boy Pastor Kevin Johnson. He got a couple celebrities there. They like, oh yeah, let me get your number. Well, I'm mad because I'm like, hold up, you about to take my work with my gear. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude,
You know what I'm saying? You make
break
sure
me
you
off,
cut.
bro.
Yeah, tell him. Yeah, you make sure you send daddy some finder's fee or something like
You
that,
know
man.
what I mean? Because
That's
I can hear
crazy
you
talk.
now. Well, so and so want me to come do their photos, and they want me to do it with the 270 to 200 lens. I'm gonna be like, you don't have one though. You can rent that joint from me.
You better rent it before you go out there and buy it. Listen, that y'all folk, hey, y'all better again if y'all want all this new gear. And I like what Victor is saying here. Right, sounds like everyone running to get the new M2 Mac. They already have an M1. Why? Big money. Again, don't go out there and try to buy all this gear when you can maybe first rent it, test it out, see if it even works for you, see if you like it
Mm.
before you drop $900 on something like the ZV-12.
Phew.
go go rent. Okay, there you go. But
Wow.
y'all keep the economy going. Y'all with that big money. But
So you
hold on,
blessed
I
me with
want to
something.
say
Go
something
ahead.
before I forget because I'm
Go
old and
for it.
I forget things.
Say it. Go ahead. Go
Because
for it.
it goes in with the shirt that you going with you Bernie say I'm in execution mode.
Nice.
Mm,
Okay.
you in
Okay.
execution mode, and I wonder how many folks are angry at that, or how many folks are keeping up with that? Because you are not at the speed limit of 33 and third, like your shirt goal. You are in fast forward. You are in high gear and you're moving, and you're not letting limitations stop you or slow
Mhm.
you down. Like you say, you already got photo shoots in your head. They may not be booked, they may not be already on the calendar, but you already got the idea. So what happened? Why did you go from, how did you get from planning to execution at such a high rate of speed and quality, if that makes sense?
You know why? Because it's the way you think, right?
Mm,
So what we learn from some people is you start to see a behavior that they have not expressed leading up to the moment that they try to do something,
mm,
right? So if last week you like, oh yeah, got an A10 mini, and then next week you like, oh, I'm Cam Link. It's like you like a double-minded man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not
mm,
like this. You okay when you're like kind of like a jack of all trades or creative in the sense that I'm not pigeonholed to one thing. You actually have a masterful mindset on anything that you do. So I was just at a I was hired to do, someone hired me to do something, and I said, I just want to be specific. You don't need me to do video. You just want photos. And they were like, yeah. And so I suggested, because it's a good sister, and I was talking to her, I was like, are you going to get video footage? Because I'm about to parlay for somebody else. And
mm,
and she was like, no, I actually have a guy. And the funny thing was, me and him both had our drones. So I threw my drone in the air and caught some shots. He threw his drone in the air, and it was like a motorcade. So both of us had the route. I'm out there, and it's actually a video of me. I'm on the street, laying on the ground with my 70 to 200,
man, love it.
right? Pointing down the street, getting a picture of Philadelphia and a bunch of hearses and a parade going up the street. He's got the drone in the air. It's got me on the ground. And me and him was laughing because it was just like, I'm looking at his drone game and he's looking at my photography game, but we both do both. So it's one of those things where you have to like, if you're the creative, be the creative, right? And know your equipment, like troubleshoot
Ooh,
yourself, right? Like know your stuff. If you keep buying stuff all the time, you have no time to learn the thing that you bought last year. You still learning that. You still tweaking it. You like, for me, I went, so I took the opportunity to get an A7R5. But I
mm-hmm.
did the research with my guy in the store that's in the video on Wander. That's my
Okay,
guy.
okay.
And I said I want that camera. I
Everybody
said,
want that
but
camera.
but tell me why I need it or don't need it.
Wow,
And he said,
wow.
so you have an A7 IV.
Mm-hmm.
He said that is a hybrid. So he explained Sony. He said the S is you doing video, right? He said the actual number, you're not sure. You doing one of each. He said the R, you basically into just photos.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Then he said, well, technically you don't have two cameras. So if you're doing wedding gigs or this, that, and the third, if something happened to one camera, you are SOL. And I'm like, cool. So we leaning into a reason why.
Yep.
Then it got into, if you got 61 megapixels, then what I do is when I go out strapped up and I have my both zoom lenses and I got to be a ninja, a photo ninja. I call
Mm-hmm.
myself a photo ninja, right? And you got to work the perimeters. I put the 70 to, I mean, the 24 to 70 on the A7R5, right? Because I can shoot wide and I can crop in and still have great resolution.
Right.
I put the 70 to 200 on the A7 IV because it's in the 40 megapixel. So I can zoom in and get an actual shot that I don't have to crop. So it's like a science to it, right? But it takes time to learn that. If in that moment I'm trying to compete with the video guy and say, "Oh, I got a cine rig too," it's like, dude, looking like, but you here to shoot photos, so we
Yeah.
don't need to know how dope you are in that. That's the
And
thing that
plus,
people would do.
listen, and plus, because I did this myself, I ain't gonna. I'll go ahead in front. back in Vegas in January, I built my cine rig as well, and most of it honestly was for show, right? Putting the little
Mm,
handle on it, putting the cage on it, putting the extra lens on it, and the monitor on it. It was less functional and more aesthetic.
mm,
I
mm,
got I got more kudos and shouts out. Oh, let me take a look at that cine rig that you got, as opposed to talks about what was coming out of it. So you can build your Frankenstein rig all you want to. I know, because I built it for aesthetics when I took it to Vegas, as opposed to so
mm. Dude, right here. So you want to talk about aesthetics? Look, that's bougie, right? Look at it. It looked like it's
that's
complicated, you
dope.
know?
Yeah.
It looked like it's complicated, right? It's made to serve a purpose. Now, this was my A7C rig. I took the A7C off so that my son could do photography with it and I can have a third camera. And guess what this is? It's an A6600, right? It's an A6600. And the crazy part about it is because it's running into the Atmos Ninja,
Hmm.
I couldn't even tell which camera I shot the footage that I have on there, and I
Wow.
forgot when I switched it. So like that's something when you try to tell somebody, they're like sitting there oppressing somebody else. Oh, I got the new so and so, and it's just like, yeah, I swapped backwards and took the full frame off and put a crop sensor on there because during the video, the crop is doing the same thing pretty much,
It
right?
is. It is.
And so, I pull back, and then the client that you turn it over to, they don't need 4K all the time. So I'm sitting there like tomato, tomato. The output is pretty much, you can't really tell the difference between the two. And so it's
That's okay.
knowing the equipment.
So that's also knowing the equipment and also getting out of your own head and getting out of your own
Yep.
way, right?
Yep.
So I was all full frame for a minute, and I was bucking it. I said, man, listen, I got these big old cameras, all this money, got these big old lenses, all this money, but
Hmm.
these three cameras right here in this studio don't move,
Got it.
right? I don't need that camera to be bolted down in this studio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I replaced everything, sold all of them, went back to crop sensor. Now I didn't.
Mm,
I ain't gonna lie. I got a dope crop. I got the FX30 here, but
right. That's a
again,
beast. That's a beast.
I scaled down to what was appropriate, kind of like we talked about a minute ago. What was appropriate for my environment and what was appropriate for my need.
Nice.
So
Yep.
crop sensor camera, crop sensor lenses, and literally when I redid the lights, I took down the overhead camera as well because I don't do any unboxings. Why? It,
Right.
it, it was just more infrastructure in here, and I'm trying to get a little more minimal. So I don't even have that overhead camera and overhead microphone in here anymore. So
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know, man.
And the thing with overhead is like, if you're the person, so one thing that I wish somebody had told me before I was messing around with it is the work that you have to put into recording quality stuff and then post production on it. Like,
Hmm.
shout out to Doc Rock. He knew that he been doing that for years,
Yeah,
right? He been
yeah.
doing that. So it's like it was a joy for him to hit Ecamm and just be like, boom, it
Oh
is
yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
Cause everything is like you record it, then you put it in here, and then you grade and all that. And even I was getting caught up and lost in people, oh, color grading and all of that. Man, some things turn around so quick that you ain't got time to sit there and fart around with it. So I
That's
chose
right.
to sit and toy around with photographs, but I ain't got time to do all that with video. That's shit. That ain't my life right there.
Bro,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a
man,
whole
brother, I'm right there with you. Right, turn it around quick, and so even now, so okay, we can get into religious debates, or we can get into real hard conversations. I'm not streaming in 4K anymore. I'm streaming in 2K. Um, why? Because again, those files are just so huge, and the editing that I do doesn't require me to pixel peep that much. For the folks that do go in 4K, fine, love it. If you got the internet bandwidth to stream to multiple locations of whatever 4K, do you and do that. That's
Mhm.
where the world, not where the world is going. That's where the world is. But for my need, for my purpose,
Right.
14.4 or 2K, and then I can edit to my extent, and then be able to push out those reels and push out those stories, push out that micro content really fast. I've been able to turn it around so much faster now, now that the files aren't so large, and the platforms and the tools that I use, getting the recognition and getting the eyes of a lot of the brands that I've been working with, doing some of that UGC.
Mhm.
Saying all that again for the fact that you don't have to try to keep up with everybody else trying to do what they're doing. Right.
Right.
If it works for them, fine. If it works for you, fine as well. But don't try to mimic what other folks are doing. Just really stay in your lane and do what drives you, because that's why you're out there able to produce so much content so fast, because you shoot it in the format that you need. You push it out to the social networks that you are engaged on. You tag the
Mhm.
people that you're wearing their gear. They see you. Next thing you know, they're in your inbox saying, uh, KP, can you do X, Y, and Z for us? And again, you didn't spend 8 hours editing a video or a photo or whatever. I, I'm just, I guess, what I'm long winded way of saying, don't be intimidated by going your own route, as opposed
Mhm.
to feeling that you have to go a quote unquote influenced person's route and the way that they're going. If it resonates with you and what you're putting out there in the universe, go do that. Do you, as opposed to trying to do somebody else.
Well, look here. I'm gonna give you a funny laugh.
Thanks,
I got to
KP.
work on something with my big bro Irvin Fryer, and we were sciencing out like what are we going to use? How are we going to do it? Like
Mm,
what's the accomplishment? And I'm like, all right, Keith, don't make it harder than it needs to be. But then he's perfectionist. So am I. Like he's competitive. I'm competitive. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's my
mm-hmm,
big bro. That's why he was a football star, because he loves everybody. He's a great preacher, pastor, what have you. But like, yo, I'm the best man on the field. You got to think like that. That's a good
mm-hmm,
ball player thinks like that. I think like that sometimes when I walk in the room with people as well and say, I see what you got. It's the guy that's smaller than you and got bigger legs muscles than you, but you like, yo, I gotta win some kind of way. Um, I look at these things and I say, what I'm holding an A7 IV in my hand. And I'm watching people pull off videos with them joints that's like out of control.
yeah.
Then you have to ask yourself, okay, Cine rig. Like for what? Like other than it's cute or depending on what you shooting, I had the matte box on. I took the matte box off and then
Mm-hmm,
had to do video. And the video came out great. The people loved it. And I'm sitting there like, there's multiple ways I can do this. I'm mixing when you throwing stuff on social media, you just take your phone, you can mix your phone in with your Sony camera or your Canon, and nobody's gonna look at your video and be like, wait, right at a
ain't
minute and
nobody else.
five.
Yeah.
That was the phone because the video, I
Ain't
didn't
nobody
notice
got
the
time to pixel Pete.
man,
Yeah.
yo, it's like it go by so fast that you have to look at, do you have the place where that matters? Are you shooting wedding videos? Are you shooting
Mm,
music videos?
mm-hmm,
Or Chris Kavanagh, his it's a guy named Chris. He works with Kurt Franklin now. Dream comes true. He moved down
mm,
to Texas. He's working with Kurt Franklin and different gospel gigs, like, and he worked with a lot of celebrities. This guy's like a regular everyday person that's like killing it. And I'm like, I'm watching him. He's got Kurt Franklin, Ty Tribbett. He's got like all these other big gospel stars. And my man got an A7 IV in his hand with a Sigma 2470 on it, right? And one flash. And he's pow pow. And they like, ooh, Ty Tribbett's shouting, like, oh, look at this picture. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there fighting around with like 3 flashes and stuff. I'm like,
you,
man,
you got light meters in your hand. You trying
I
to
was
get it
like,
right.
yeah. And dude's a beast. Don't get me wrong. He's
Yeah.
professional. He's beast. But there's a way you dial it back. And so here's what I want to say on that. I watched this dude's creativity. I was like, he's winning by his creativity,
Mm,
not product. It's not product that you win by. It's your creativity. You get the product to accessorize who you are. You don't make yourself an accessory to the product. Because if you make yourself an accessory to the product is not a person. You're the person. So the product is an accessory to you. So if you have not identified the core of you, then all the stuff that you get ain't never going to make you better. Just
Let that marinate. Hold on, just let that see. Take it off the fire for a minute. Just let that
it's
rest right there.
it's just not gonna make you better. I'm That's the key. That's the learning piece
That's
that
good.
I that I had to share. It's not gonna make you better. Um, again, shout out to my guys, love me or hate me, Jazzy Jeff and all the crew. We all have something in common. I did it on the interview with, I got soul. It's it's the whole thing when Puffy was like, "What are y'all using?" And it's like, "Yo, we using this right here because it
Hmm.
works." We touch this Fender Rhodes and it sounds great. So every time somebody come in, did you check out the new plug-in joint? It's like, nah, I ain't check it out.
I'm
Oh
the old
man, it joint
school.
fire. It got 64-bit and all this. We like, cool. I like the 816 crunch. You know what I'm saying? It's like
you know, give me my tracks on my 3.5 inch floppy. Let me put that in right back in them days, right?
I mean, and the Jedi mind trick is they're like, I believe that some of these YouTubers are gifted. Hear what I'm
Mm,
saying? They're gifted in explaining products. A lot of people are explaining products that are not gifted in it. Like nobody knows pixel peeping to me. One of my favorite is Gerald Undone.
yeah,
And when
he's a
you
bad
watch
man.
a new, like, if when I was looking at the comparison, I was trying to decide, do I get the Sony G Master 35 or can I get this Sigma? And I looked at what's his name, Gerald Undone.
Hmm.
And I'm sitting there looking like I don't know what exactly I'm looking at. This dude was all the way into numbers and the abbreviation and something around the edge of the screen and
Yeah.
down the. But I was like, God, dude, I was so done. I was like, okay. And when he was done, I just looked at Gerald Undone, and I was done looking at Gerald Undone. Like I'm done trying to figure out, and I was just like, I'll figure it out when I get to the store. And so I looked at my budget, I seen what worked, and then I got it. And what my choice was the consistency of the G Master lenses, the 67, diameter or whatever. But what he said didn't make a difference for the pictures I take. It just didn't, but he's your guy if that's what you into. He knows it. Like that's what he does. um Shout out to Tom Buck with the microphones, and it's like two other guys I listen to. They literally will go into the specifics of at 8 meters away with a room that's padded and blah blah blah. And I'm like, when are you out in the field in an 8-foot room, something with padded walls? You out in the middle of the sidewalk with
They tested every scenario. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm sitting there like, yo, I just need to get to do audio. And then you into this whole other area of post processing.
Hmm.
So the other thing that I can't get, the latest, the G Master 135 lens is fire, dude. I mess with that thing. It is incredible.
Hold up,
It's a
let me
prime
see.
lens.
Okay.
So it's the 135 prime. It's got to be one of the sharpest Sonys out there, right? Look at the 135 prime lens. It is sick, dude. And it costs a grip.
Yes, it
But
do. Not
but
available.
here's the issue with it though. So now when you get the sharpest picture, and for the longest time, everybody like, oh man, it is so crisp. It's so sharp. It's so crisp. And the minute they say Lightroom or Photoshop or something, Adobe, I'm like, boom, 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 boom. You know why? Because 90% of the time, or if you say Peter McKinnon filter or something, or Polar Pro filter or mist or something, you put a mist with a super sharp lens, you just took all the sharpness away.
That's true. You
So
put that diffusion on there, and man, oh yeah, come on, y'all better be listening right now, because I know what
the
y'all
fir-
looking
the
at these
first thing I
products.
had anybody I shoot a picture of tell me, "Oh, you going to take out the wrinkles and the look," and you like, okay, so basically what I'm hearing is you want to look smoother. So why do I need a sharp lens to make you look smoother? So again, homegirl at Unique Photo in Philly,
Mm.
was like, yo, I went in there to grab, I was like, I'm gonna get that G Master 50 millimeter. She was like, we don't have them yet, but she was like, so yeah, it's $1,200. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I gotta make that money back. She was like, how much are you gonna be shooting with a 50 or you more so on the 35? I was like, yeah, I want to get 35. She said, here's my suggestion. Get this 55 Zeiss. I'm selling to you for like 350, right? Use lens. I was like, oh. And I was like, nah. She said, no, put it on your camera real quick. I put that on my A7R. And I stood there and I was shooting with it. She said, how did the pictures look to you? I said, they look wonderful. She's like, yep.
So
And so she said, how about you grab this? She said, and get the 35, because the 35 is a good prime lens to have, right? She said, get 35. And she said, if you don't like this lens, I'll give you the same amount of money back and you can put that towards getting a 50. I am not getting rid of that 55.
right. Yeah. Yeah, don't get rid of that. That's okay.
That baby right there. I mean, you can buy them used for like 4. You can lowball somebody and get them for like around 4 or better. One of the dopest lenses, and it's a 1.8. People having piston matches, 1.2. I got a 1.2, 1.4. It's like I got 1.4s and basically never shoot them with 1.4. I'm always in the 2s to get the shots that I want.
Well, especially outside. Right.
Yeah.
Right. No one needs that much low light compensation if you're well, I'm not gonna say no one. I won't do that. But for the majority of folks outside shooting photos, you don't need that type of low light unless you're astrophotography out there shooting planets and stars and things of that nature. But regular
Yeah.
every single day, 95% of the time.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of these lenses are 2.8 and f4.
Yep.
Natural light. You're out there with okay. We're not here to give a 101 on photography, but
yeah, I'm like, because I see. So here's the other thing. I'm not an expert in it. And if this helps people, a lot of us who are like Grammy Award winners, like plaques and stuff.
Well, go ahead.
Hold
on. Say that one more. Don't just gloss
I'm
over
saying
that.
it. I say what it is. Listen, because you know what I'm saying it when it's relevant, right?
Yes.
Because sometimes creativity, you're limited to the way to get there. Sometimes is to trust you. Of course, biblically, trust in the Lord in all your ways, lean out to your own understanding. Got it. That's a spiritual thing. But in creative process, you got to trust you in your process, right? The you that you trust is the you that you identify. That can even be in what you want to do. So if you say, hey, I want to get into videography, if you're not gifted in it, then you do have to do the research and learn.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you are gifted in it, it's because that'll push you to research and learn if you're gifted in it. Because what you're gifted in creativity, you're not going to be lazy, right? If you want to do it. So you can be gifted in it. You can be gifted in something that you don't want to do. But if you're gifted in something that you want to do, you're not going to be lazy in it. If you're lazy in it, then you probably not really gifted in it. If you're trying to do it and you can't get that groove in there. The other thing will be to listen. Like, don't listen to what everybody's doing. Like, be inspired by somebody that's doing what you say, okay, I'm trying to do that. And if you watch them, you'll see. You know what I like about Manny Ortiz? The dude's always talking about cameras, literally. It's limited to cameras, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got the Sonys, he's got Canons, this, that, and the third. He does reviews. I seen him do a couple of bait click joints, right? He did them. He kind of pissed a couple of his fans off, like, "Oh, you straight?" He was like, "Why?" He said, "Why I'm ditching Sony or something to that nature." It was like,
I think I remember that. Yeah,
and I was like, "What is he talking about?"
Yeah, I clicked it too.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, like, no way. He still shoot with an A1, and it's like, oh, that was little clickbait, John. I see you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, come on, Manny. But this guy is like, his creativity is sick, man. It's sick, and he's not really a gadget person. He explains it in the context of how he uses stuff. He's one of the few people that I follow that I trust because this is what he does, and he's in his zone creating and taking pictures. And because you're in that zone creating and taking pictures, then you jump on this. So, like drone people, if you're not flying drones at least once a week, you can't tell me about, oh, the new drone is out and
Yeah.
unboxing and all that. You just had money to buy it. You ain't about that. Where's your drone pictures at?
If you don't
Like,
know about the tilt and the yaw all the time, you're gonna crash
I
your drone in
mean,
the water. And if you don't know about the rules and regulations, as well, not everybody flying drones doesn't have their Part 107, but that's okay too. Just know what to expect if you get approached by some authorities if you don't have your Part 107, because that literally is the pilot's license, right?
okay, and you need that for a certain size, I think, right?
Yeah, for
Because yeah,
the ones that are not considered toys, right? I mean, not the ones you can go buy at Toys R Us. Is Toys R Us still in business? But
just no, they opening back up one over
okay,
this way.
all
But
the DJIs, all the ones that are really prosumer. If you're gonna take if you're gonna take drone photography or videography in a crowd, technically you're supposed to have that pilot's license, that Part 107. But yeah, no, just don't get
ooh,
caught.
yeah,
Don't tell
just
nobody. Fly it
okay.
high enough so you don't get caught. Ain't gonna we didn't put you all here on Front Street. They're gonna come knocking at your door here in about
No,
2 hours.
I got the small joint. I got the small Mavic Pro joint. I mean,
Mm,
the mini. I got the mini,
yeah,
so I can throw mine in the
I
air.
think you still need it for that too.
They told me I could throw it in the air. You know, they said no. I got the app that tells you where you can launch it at and where you can't.
Okay.
Now, look, I'm working with somebody that's getting that the Inspire out of all drones. I was like, I
Oh, the Inspire's
will.
hot.
Yeah, I said I will. They were like, you think you can fly this? I'm like, I ain't flying that expensive thing. Jeez, that
Yeah,
thing costs too much money. That's a beast. What is it, like $20,000, something crazy?
it's ridiculous. Well, now they up to last time I was when they first came out. Now on the 3, yeah, 16,499 on sale,
I don't.
pre-order.
You can't put that controller in my hand.
See that? Look at there go Dr. Elo. He gonna get one.
Hey, more power to you. Go
Listen,
for it, man.
Elo out there making that content too. And, he add this new drone to his arsenal, to his bag, to his toolkit. Come on, Elo.
So, James, I challenge you, man. Get you when you gonna get a sling, man? But you don't really need one, do you?
I was gonna say I'll buy one right now online, but I'm not gonna put my Apple Card information out there while we live.
No,
But
don't do that.
I
Don't
don't
do
need
that.
one. Yeah, I don't need one. You know, I
Wander, y'all.
swear I sold all my other bags, and I'm just looking at my Wander right there. That's all I got. That's all I need.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's James 6 that put me up on this Wander. All right. Why am I pixelated? Yep, I'm getting the what's his name joint. Is that me? No, you see me?
Yeah.
Do I look pixelated? I do look pixelated, right?
Yeah, you look underwater there, brother. Come on now.
So remember that happened to Steve, right? Did it clear up? No, it still didn't clear up.
Well, Worley, he was trying to do a little too much, right?
They was going on my man.
Batteries was going red.
I feel his pain though. You know what I'm saying? What's these comments saying, man? I was, you know what? I got it on the small monitor. No, because I got it on the small monitor. See, look, do I got to shut? Maybe my kid and everybody's just on this joint. Maybe. Hold on 1 second. Let me shut this computer off.
Oh Lord, we gonna.
I don't know. Like whatever it does it. Okay, it cleaned up, right? I guess
a little bit. You still look like he coming in at 720, 360.
Right. You know, I troubleshoots this stuff, man. So, let me make sure nothing's running.
This about to be a 4-hour the convos right here.
No, it's not.
KP accidentally pushing buttons on the stream deck and the stream ends.
Oh, look, you know me, I troubleshoot this stuff. That's the kind of creative I am. I'm gonna troubleshoot it and be like, all right, who doing what? So I know. Okay, everybody closed, they shut down.
You got a whole bunch of websites open. You hardwired or you Wi-Fi?
No, I don't.
I was interviewing someone yesterday and she was on Wi-Fi. She has some latency in hers, but yeah, like Sean is saying, your connection may be getting weak.
And I didn't update. So, all right, how many windows open? It's just one. I'm on with James Hicks. Got it. And I'll bounce this back here. It's just when I see it, I'll be like, look, come on, dude. We're not doing
I'm
this.
looking at the stream, the bandwidth stats. We
No,
good.
you good because you look good to me.
I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna cut that up right there. I'm gonna use that as my little micro content right there.
So what? So wait, why is Ecamm telling me click to resume? Like, so I can go live on Ecamm on my joint, but it's not going to have both of us though, right? No. I don't know why it registered to say that I have a live pending.
I saw you paired your channel. Let's take a look and see if and you are live right now on your channel too.
Yeah, but it's like my Ecamm in here is saying like, oh yeah, you know, if you're ready to go live with James, you know, you get to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, this is not on James. This is definitely on me. I don't know why I'm cloudy, but
I'm copying that too. I'm gonna use that. That's gonna be my new trigger. That's gonna go, you know, right there with. Oh, hold on, that was the wrong one.
I hear you. I hear you though.
I
hear you.
Oh. Let's be clear, okay?
That one right there. That one right there. I'm gonna keep that one forever.
Let's be clear, okay?
All right. See, we was blaming what's his name. I don't think it was him though. Steve Worthy.
Well, his batteries are running low. Are you plugged into a dummy battery, or are you using like a D-tap, or how are you powering your camera?
Nah, it can't be the camera. It's got to be the stream, because even if I switch cameras, it's got to be the same. See? So I don't know if it's what's running into oh wow, what's the name? See how they just did? I'm switching through Ecamm. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close Ecamm and just, you know, go straight to the browser with the camera. So I'm gonna let me just switch this. I'm gonna see if it cleared up. You know how we do, man. I'm gonna troubleshoot it. So
that's all right. That's right. Yeah, and you running beta too, the latest beta.
You know what? I did not update anything.
Since when? Since the regular general release?
I don't know. I have no idea. I just be sitting there like, dude,
Glenn,
I do beta.
Glenn out there doing all this work trying to update this thing.
Look at this. I do beta all the time. So this is straight into. So it's got to be my Chrome, I guess.
Elo's so it's going to boot looking me. Like he on the Logitech Quick Cam from '94.
Right. So look, I'm a respawn it. So ladies and gentlemen, James full screen. I'm gonna respawn it, and I'll be right back.
This man over here, Lord have mercy. See, this is what we do though. Live streaming at its best. I know. See, Sean talking about new updates today. I'm not gonna do any updates right now because obviously we live. But this is what we do. Conscious conversations every 2 weeks. KP and I get on here and we chop it up. No agenda. Just gonna come out here and try to bless somebody with something, some type of value, some type of insight, and see if y'all rock with us. Anybody want to come on screen? We can do that as well. Let me see if this man is looking any better here. Let me just see what we working with. Let's see what we working with. There you go.
All right, did it come back better?
Yeah, you cleaner. You cleaner for sure. Yeah.
Is it different? You know, look, I like to troubleshoot these things so we know. That's good. You can leave me in a little small corner.
No, man. You look better than me. I'm gonna go ahead like Doc.
Like this look, man. This hat. I'm getting a hat, man.
Come on.
No, I have a hat on order. You got hair, so you don't really need it.
Well, just a little bit.
It'll
be gone in the morning. I got to do some presenting tomorrow at work, so it's going. I got to get cleaned up. You know, all this salt in the beer has got to go. See, Brother Nixon in the building too. I see you, man. How you living, brother?
See, Andrew said it's the hat. See that? It's the hat. The hat does everything, man.
I might have to put these hats in my press and sew shop. Exclusive.
You like my guy on I forgot the actor's name. Black brother. He was on the show called Banshee. HBO had a show called Banshee. I forgot the guy's name. He's a actor, but yeah, Banshee. He got the hat on. Got that same style hat.
All right. You know, Nordstrom, y'all. You know, I didn't
Oh,
I,
see, that's that baller
I was gonna
bougie
say
stuff.
I done upgraded. You know, they know me now when I walk in the Nordstrom here. Shouts out to Westfield Mall in Roseville.
You
They do know.
snack it.
Because the only gear I rock, so I will say this, and the reason I've been shopping at Nordstrom, if you
Mm-hmm.
know Essentials, the clothing brand Essentials,
No.
Essentials Fear of God. So
Okay.
the designer, the guy who created that, is actually from Sacramento. So
Okay. Got
I've
you.
been rocking it. Hold on, okay, hold on. See, here we go. I'm gonna log in and Nordstrom. They're gonna be like, "Hey, Mr. Hicks, welcome back."
See that they know you by first
Yeah,
name.
hi
They know you.
James. Hold on, let
They
me
call you. They
make
just call you Jay. They just call you Jay. Yo, Jay up in the building.
come up in there
Jay,
like Norm from Cheers back in the day, boy. Let me see here. Okay, great
Jay
deals that
is
you
in the building.
love. Watch this. Search for products. Look, recently search Essentials. They know. God dog it.
Wow.
Yeah, so you know it costs a couple of nickels though. Black owned and founded. Fear God. So you
Oh,
see, I already
Fear
got this.
got duh.
Yeah,
I know who you talking about.
yeah. I got
Okay.
this one upstairs. Yeah, that's dope too. Yeah, I got that.
Okay, Fear God. See, and you put your wander bag on with that. There you
Yeah,
go.
man.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that black camo bag next. Cause I'm gonna walk in New York with my wander bag like you, with the backpack this time.
Okay. Do they have a affiliate partnership? All this. I even saw Felicia. She chimed in and she showed a picture of her bag that she got, and I said, "Okay, we got all these. We got family within the family out here rocking all this gear." And I said, "Man, y'all got an affiliate link or code or something so we can get some of these referral
Yo, what?
kick in?"
Yeah, see, I'm back again. See that? I don't know. I guess it's Chrome. I did not update Chrome either. I
How
don't
long?
like this.
Oh yeah, man, you got to upgrade Chrome, especially Chrome, because you know that. How long has it been since you upgraded Chrome, brother?
Ladies and
Lord, have
gentlemen, I would
Lord.
just be ghostly and cloudy and ghostly.
This
So
brother,
I can put it.
this brother, right?
The
Can't take him no place. I'm glad I already got my micro clips from you. You know when I chop this up, boy. Because
I really don't know what just happened. Like, but you can still hear me, right?
oh, you sound fantastic. You know, you coming in through the Apollo, when you coming in through the SM7B, you sound good. Lord have mercy.
Where's
You know what?
my
Let me put the link up so maybe somebody with some clear cameras can come in on the screen if y'all want to.
Yeah, because I don't know why my joints like. I mean, what is that?
That's bandwidth. That's probably, honestly, it's not your fault. It's probably your ISP. It's probably your internet provider. Probably Cox, Comcast, Xfinity going through some things. Everybody's streaming these.
Is like the game on or something?
Yeah.
No,
Oh
are
yeah.
they playing West Coast or East
No.
Coast or what?
Yeah. What is it? Who is it? It's the Heat. Yeah, the Heat and the Celtics. They trying to win. Miami trying to win. Jimmy Butler out here doing Jimmy Butler things. And then I think we got hockey going too. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Who at the house, brother? Is Miss Tina back there streaming? You know, got Hulu going.
I think somebody's like hard in on like up in here. I should look. I can boot the kid off the joint.
No,
I'll boot
he
everybody
don't
off.
even know, right? He just gonna be there. He gonna be watching his show, watching Power or whatever show he got. And next thing you know, Daddy gonna come in here.
I'll box him out. So
Okay,
great point, right?
Yeah,
I'm pixelated, so you can make me smaller because I'm good and pixelated.
All right, I'll do that. But let's see. I have a question for y'all about Ecamm. Now, this isn't an officially licensed.
Don't ask the question. That this is not an Ecamm fault.
Yeah, it isn't an officially licensed, promoted, affiliated, all them adjectives show for Ecamm. But we got some winners in the community, right? We got Elos and we got the Strix and we got
put y'all links in there. Put y'all links in there.
The Rileys. So we got the Dr. Stone. So we can answer your question. Go ahead, bro. Oh my goodness. Hold up. Wait a minute. Roy, if you don't log on to this right here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you might as well get that guy in there.
Hey, hold on. Before we answer, Sean, before we answer your Ecamm question, let's give Dr. Fox some flowers. Marshall Fox. I'm looking right at you, boy. You doing the thing. So keep
Big
doing what
time.
you doing. Uh, I wish you. I still got you up here. If you don't kill it, your family won't eat. That's looking right up here, right in front of me. I was the first one to buy his canvas when he put that out. Man, he is out there doing things. He was at the Creatorverse with your boy Walter Jeanette and Chris
Oh, he's
Do.
in the gym. He's in the
Okay.
gym.
Oh, man, boy, come on, Nate. Look, you sitting there with your iPhone or whatever, 14, and you can do 4K 30 on that thing. Let me see you underneath the squat rack. I'll be there in about an hour myself. Come on. No.
Hey, you're talking about getting attention, right?
Yeah.
Marshall Fox is a perfect example with that chair, right? It's
Man, the chairs. Yeah. The video that he did.
so here's the thing. It's
Hold up.
it's what he had, it's what he's using,
Mm-hmm.
and he put together off of what he does, right? So he put his best foot forward because that's what he does in that. I think okay, so for example, it's what I said earlier. It's one of those things where if you're not paying attention or if you're not doing something and then when somebody does it, you say, hey, look over here. Sometimes people will see right through it and it's not so simple. So I learned that the hard way, right? I looked at it and I'm just like, just because I'm using a owner bag, owner's not going to look at me just because I put one picture up of owner, right? They're kind of looking at the consistency, like, what else do you have? It's like, I got a YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
I got X, Y, and Z. I reviewed your bag. Edelkrone, I done did enough stuff with Edelkrone in it, right? Edelkrone actually has like an affiliate partnership, something. You fill out the application, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. I'm cool on Edelkrone, right?
Right.
And practically, I'm like, I use their stuff, but I would go off of my normal creative flow to kind of push the Edelkrone product. So I think one of those things is if you can just like Amazon is for people that's like, oh, I'm gonna sell a paperclip to you because I got the gift of gab and I like to sit in front of the camera all day and just BS you about a paperclip that you don't need. That's what Amazon does. But when you get into like products that are useful that people actually need, it's like if you yourself don't find the lane for that, it's kind of hard to be an ambassador to sell on it. Or like I just said, you're an Amazon seller and Amazon sellers aren't limited to like they just BS you with it. That's why for me, I was like, nah, I'm not going to bother with Amazon because when I talked to Monty, it was like, yo, I don't want y'all sending me a bunch of boxes. And, because at that point you getting GVM sliders. It's like, I don't like nobody else sliders but Edelkrone. You know what I'm saying? I may try out Shark or something, whatever the other thing is, but I'm like, nah, I don't want the Arc Rhino. It's too bulky. It's just not my style.
Yeah, it's not what we do.
So you put that up there and I don't want to miss that, but you got Marshall Fox up there. That's the chair he sits in.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, Keith got a new chair. Let me grab that chair too. Oh, I got it in green and I got the leather patches on it. You trying to get the company attention and be like, oh, pay me to do the chair. Well, they looking at your pattern like, what do you have that sells stuff? Like, how can I believe in you? So Marshall, like, I don't look at him as somebody that just can sell anything. It's like, he's going to be like, yo, it don't work for me.
Yeah.
So that's Shark Tank mentality. Right.
The cool thing about what Fox did, listen, he don't have but 21 videos on his channel. Right. Everything else that he does, I hope he's still listening. So I wanted to ask him this question.
He's in the gym. He running like 18 miles, so he listening.
Probably taking a break in between sets. And the reason why I hope he's still listening, I want to ask him this before I say about this video. Haven't joined this community. I want to join this community, but he's got some criteria. And I want to make sure I meet the criteria. I don't want to just roll up in there and not provide value. So let me ask the man at the front day, Dr. Fox, if I can join that community that you have, and hopefully I can meet some of that criteria there, man. So talk to me offline, brother, and hopefully we can do that. But so back to this. 21 videos on his channel. That video that he did 2 years ago,
Mhm.
Hayworth Fern review, best ergonomic office chair, 73,000 videos. 73,000 views. That video
Mhm.
right there was the one that took him from 0 to over 1,000 to being monetized. One video
Mhm.
went quote unquote viral, but again, just kind of like you're saying, like we're saying right here, he uses the thing. He showed his
Mhm.
research of going through all the other litany of looking at all, the Herman Millers and all the other Amazon suggested pieces of equipment. He settled on that, decided he gonna do a video, did the video, and then Hayward said, "Man, you know what?
Mhm.
We appreciate
Mhm.
you. Guess what? Come on back and do another one." So he did another one. He did he did his long term review afterwards. But again, it's been 2 years, and that was the video that kind of elevated his channel to where it is right now. And
Mhm.
again, like we were talking about that UGC, that user generated content. He did it. Why? Because it resonated with him. It met his need, and he wanted to share that with everyone. He wasn't forced or asked to share that. He did it because he wanted to, and look what it did to him. Look or did for him. So
Now, mind you, his video work was so dope, but and let's be honest. Do you know Marshall Fox to have like 8 C-stands sitting around the room, aperture 600, light storms and, what I'm saying,
hmm
diffusion over top and like, j- I mean, this was done and he ain't even had no kind of Edelchrome, nothing. You understand what
yeah,
I'm saying? Maybe a
yeah.
gimbal or something. Like, I'm not saying he had nothing. Like, he had equipment, but it's like, it wasn't all the stuff that after the match. Like, you really take and look at the timeline, a lot of all the gear acquisition syndrome stuff we talking, he ain't have all of that. So when you look at it, it's like,
Well,
oh,
hold on, wait a minute. We gonna have
go.
to we gonna tell the truth. He and Alicio, boy, they for a minute they had everything. They probably
But you know what? But here's the
for a
proof.
minute, him and
The
Alicio had a
boxes,
gang of stuff.
they didn't open up most of the boxes of the stuff they had while they was throwing
That's a
out their
good.
best
That's a
stuff.
good point. That's a good
They
point. Yeah,
had it. See, this is the difference. They had it, but never opened the daggone box on most
that's
of
true.
it.
That's true.
Never
Okay.
implemented it. So it's like the quality of what you're looking at right now is not because he had a pissing match with everybody off of Nanlite versus Aperture. That
Go ahead.
those of us who know Marshall
Yeah,
Fox,
bring that back
Marshall
home. There
Fox
it
will
is.
put out some of the dopest stuff, and then he'll go, "So I'm trying to figure out how to get the egg. What's the eggshell thing grid to put on a light?" You like, how you don't know that, right? Like, I'm just busting on my dude, like just joking, but it's like he'll ask a question in the group that you like, he don't know that. That's the thing. So I'm just proving a point on the same way when people think I know something that I don't know, and they like, man, the way you color graded and stuff. I'm like, what's color grade? And they like, you ain't color grade?
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, but now since you mention it,
You're not
I don't
using
want to be the
semi-tones.
idiot in the next session. I'm gonna find out what it is. Dude, I for the longest times, I didn't even understand why you need a prime lens. I did most of my pictures and knew nothing. I didn't even have a prime lens.
Mm.
And then finally, by the time I went and got prime lenses and started getting them, now I know why. And I
But you
know why
educated
I'm
yourself,
not.
right? And I mean,
Yes.
I wouldn't fault anyone for that. I mean, you went out there and did your education, and you can't expect anyone. I guess I'm gonna look at the glass half full. You can't expect everyone to know that out from the jump. You
Mm-hmm.
use
Mm-hmm.
something, you saw maybe some limitations, and you said, "Man, if I go with this sharper lens, get what you pay for because it's gonna cost you $300, $400, $500 or whatever more than what you got." And then you progressed into that. But hold on, I stopped this video at this particular spot. I'm sorry, Fox, man. I know you got a
Go
bad
for it.
face on there, but here's what's so dope about what Fox do. Here's what's so dope about this video right here that he did 2 years ago. You see him sitting at the desk right here. You see that person behind him, bruh. That's him,
Right. I remember.
right?
That's funny you remember that.
The fact that he
That's
cut
dope.
that and was able to splice that into man,
Mm-hmm.
come on, Fox. You a bad
Mm-hmm.
man. You a bad man.
But you know what's crazy? That's a little quick hint sidebar of his creativity though.
Yeah.
Right? It's subtle things like that, creative mindsets. That's where I know some shooters, right? And what they do is their main goal is to get that newest camera that they think validates them. Once they get that camera, they look and they get that lens that they think validates them. And then it's like, yeah, you got to shoot a picture. Now, if you had an event and it's a bunch of beautiful people and handsome gentlemen there, you can just point the camera at anybody. So what I do is different, is create the shot. What's the creative shot? You understand what I'm saying? And then at the end of the day, it's how do we involve people? So it's engagement. And this is why companies will reach out. And I'm learning this. I can't prove it yet. I'm just saying they will reach out when they feel like there's an interaction with you and it's practical. And, without, saying everything that was in the email that I got, I'm pixelated again. I don't care. It's the main thing was we're looking for people to be themselves. So that's the hint that gatekeepers won't tell people, but I'll let people in on a secret. Like, look, if you trying to grab people's attention, like y'all get mad with me all you want. The heck with all the master classes and stuff. They're for the people that need the master class, right? But it's kind of like saying the only way to be a Jay-Z is with 4 degrees and a PhD and stuff like that. Or you got to be shout out to Swiss Beats and different people that got their degrees after all of the yachts and all of this and stuff. Education is important, but some people that are the gatekeepers, like, oh, the only way you get here is through my master class and blah, blah, blah. Don't stop lying. Because if you tell the truth, people will join your master class because they'll be like, listen, I can't come up with that on my own. But the people that can, they'll appreciate that you weren't trying to pimp them for it.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like everybody can win. Everybody can eat. It's not that hard.
There's enough opportunity out here for all of us to succeed. Let me throw this up here from my man Sean Lee. He's asking, here go one of them ECAM questions. So let's see, can you use Logic mixing your stream drum? No, this ain't a ECAM question. Can you use Logic mixing your stream drums, keys, everything so your mix is solid? I have tried, but it just doesn't work for me. I've asked in forums and everyone is worried about latency. However, I know how to resolve that. So I'm wondering, have you ever used Logic Live to mix your audio?
Oh no.
That's for you.
No, I've never used it live. Like I used it on a live to play the music through using loopback. But to mix it, nah, you're going to get latency because it's like it's got to process through it. The problem with Logic is in your computer. The Mac is running Logic. And the Apollo, right? If you have an Apollo or something like that, it's offloaded to the chip in the Apollo. So Apollo can offer literally 0 latency. And you get like a mix through there. So if it's all about your audio, if that's your question, is it Sean is asking the question?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sean, if you're asking about it just for like this, like the microphone or whatever, like I could put a reverb on this mic right now and it's not going to add latency. Sorry about my picture, but I don't know what, this is the first time it happened. But audio quality wise, I can throw auto tune on this right now. I can oversaturate the compressor or do whatever. And it's not going to be a latency problem because it's offloaded on all that processing stuff is in the Apollo through that system, and it's throwing it back to the computer. If you use Logic and you're trying to put a mix and stuff up in Logic, you're tugging at the computer. So, and then while you streaming, that's the worst thing, the way to try to do it, because then you're trying to do everything into the stream. But you definitely need loopback, because I thought you don't need it if you're using Ecamm. And this is no stab at Ecamm. You kind of don't want to use the what is it called? The I don't forgot it because I learned to just turn it off. The system audio.
System audio.
Yeah. Uninstall that sucker because it'll be terrible problems. Like it'll, and the other thing is, I don't know if it's just doing it with my Apollo. I know my Apollo does not like system audio. That's what I can say about the Apollo. It doesn't like the system audio with Ecamm. So I just turn it off, use loopback to bring anything else in. And yeah, I hope that answers your question as far as Ecamm with Logic. But yeah, you don't want to do live mixing, especially your microphone. You don't want to use that processor in there. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I think it's possible you can, but I think it'll be latency. And then I don't know if you can throw the delay the opposite way. I'm not sure.
Mm. Hey, Ken, Glenn, you listening? You watching? We got some recommendations for the next release.
And Doc Rock can answer that, or I think what's his name was on here earlier, DJ Rob. They would know
Yeah,
as
Rob,
well.
no. Yeah.
It's too much work with that. And I'm assuming that Sean does not have like an Apollo or a Focusrite or something like that. I'm assuming that you just USB into. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he says it's for his worship services. So let us know what you're coming in for, man. And send your super chats to the convos.
Oh no, I know what he's talking about now. It's kind of like it. So look, I'm just kind of guessing. If he has the kind of church where they're taking and tapping off of like a X32 or something like that, right? A X32 is a Behringer or something, or just digital, and you connect into your computer and you got all the channels and you try to submix it live. That's a whole different monster.
Mm-hmm.
The cool thing about Ecamm is Ecamm will just take whatever audio you give it and then you just matching it with the video. So in that case, I believe it's possible, because what he's talking about is a separate system that probably throws the mix into. Okay, he said yes. Okay, for a church service or something else like that, where you're tapping off of the house mix with a sub mix onto another board, you're just throwing the audio in there, but more than likely it's from a separate computer. So you can take whatever audio you want. The only thing will just be matching the timing up. So what I would do is play with the live and stream like at a choir rehearsal and just be like, yo, y'all play singing the mic, put a camera on them and look at the stream and make sure it's in sync. If it's not in sync, adjust the delay in Ecamm so that you know what the actual delay timing is, so that it outputs to the internet in sync. So when I look at it and they say lift your hands, lift your hands is the same time, and on the one where they say
Mm-hmm.
it's all in sync. So I'm not in sync now on your computer, but you know.
Good segue there, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a first for us where I am pixelated and stuff. So I don't know how that
That's
happened.
all right. That's all right, brother.
It got to be my area or something. I don't know. Jeez.
See if you get some.
I'm sorry, Jane. I look bad. You can cut me off and
terrible,
finish
but that's
the
all
stream.
right. You know it's
Yeah,
all
you can
good,
finish the
brother.
stream. Good Lord.
We're gonna go ahead and
Alexa,
shut it
turn
down
off
now.
soft boxes.
This boy gonna turn off the
There we
lights.
go.
we
There we
better
go.
now.
This- I'm Ghost Man or something. Jeez. I mean,
Here we go right here now, right? No, I tell you what. Hold on. Let's see. I'm not used to seeing you like. Yeah, look. Patrice is saying what is going on as well.
hey,
He don't
look,
know.
Patrice,
he didn't go on and sat in the
yeah.
corner. He didn't go on and sat in the corner. He gonna cry in the car.
Yeah, because I don't want to be blaming Ecamm, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know my internet is right.
They're gonna mess around and raise your. No, I don't know. Appreciate it. I've been streaming for years. Switch to Ecamm. Hey man, let's definitely, brother.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
it's workable. It's workable, Sean. You good to go. That's just taking that feed. I'm glad you brought it up, James, because I was like, that's gotta be the situation. As soon as he said for a church or worship service or any kind of live gig, I'm like, yeah, you're always going to tap. You want to do a mix across a board, then take that mix, the sub mix of that, and feed that into Ecamm.
I feel like I'm talking to someone in the witness protection program. Man, I don't know. I'm nervous right now just having this conversation.
Alexa, turn on soft boxes. All right, maybe I'll drop the front lights and it'll compensate for the pixelation.
Oh,
that is
terrible.
Dude,
that's bad.
That is terrible.
That is bad. God, I ain't gonna
So
lie.
I'm trying to figure out what the feed like, and I got Ecamm closed. So, but you said the audio sounds great, right?
Yeah, you in the line with the audio. We gonna cut this short so you can go fix whatever you need to fix, because your stuff is...
Well, I don't need to fix it, because if I just stream from my computer straight into Facebook, it'll be fine.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So it's through that connection. Like, I don't know why it does that.
You need to
And
stop
that's
messing
not
with
an
Facebook.
Ecamm thing?
No, you need to stop messing with Facebook. Well, we got a lot of comments coming in on your and my Facebook, so we're not gonna say that. I'm gonna say leave
Hmm.
Facebook alone. But shout out to Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. Yeah, it's not Ecamm, brother. I'm looking at the bandwidth statistics. I'm way below.
No. I don't mean Ecamm from your computer, right?
Mhm.
But I'm using a link on the interview. The
Right.
interview is pulling in from Chrome on my end into your Ecamm,
True.
right?
Right.
Your Ecamm is sending out. So if we did it the other way around, mine would be fine. But I think that what ends up happening, I've seen this happen on some lives. The interrogation will go to, the first thing we all shoot is like, even with audio, oh, your audio or your video, whatever. But if you hear my audio clean and clear, right?
And
If
you're in
it's an
sync with.
internet problem,
Yeah.
if it's an internet problem, right? Then my audio is normally choppy. So when I do clients on the weekends, when somebody has a bad internet connection, their audio and their video is screwed up. I rarely have great audio and bad video. It's always both. Like I don't get one without the other. Or if their headphones and stuff is jacked up. So like seeing this, I look at it like, okay, it could be the browser.
That's what we're thinking, because I'm looking at your audio and your levels, and you sound, and you're in sync too. Your audio is in sync with what I do see when I do see it. Uh, and the audio is
Yeah,
coming
I
through
don't
clear without any problem. So yeah, it might be that Chrome issue, either
I'm
Chrome
just
or just
I'm
that
just a
connection.
troubleshooter where I'm like, I want to know like what happened or what. Let me just check. Let
Midstream
me see.
too, right? Midstream.
Yeah, because it came in fine and it just goes. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're experiencing live the troubleshooting this.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
get to
but you
work.
can cut this. You can cut this because I don't like being pixelated.
I know. I
hate
ain't gonna put you out here looking half baked.
no,
That's terrible.
because folks
It's all
start
right.
putting in whatever they want to put in there. It was like, I'm gonna tell you. So continue allowing the guests to use that. All right, phone, whatever. Yeah, I can troubleshoot this on my own. Performance, memory saver.
Yeah,
No, we
Victor.
don't need.
I'm updated, man. So it's everything is current release. Around these parts, I'm running developers versions of everything. I mean, so it's the latest. It's all good though, man. But listen, let's get into this, man. Let's go ahead and move on with the day and with the evening. I'm gonna go do what Dr. Fox is doing, sitting underneath the squat rack. I'm gonna go eat with my wife. She back in town finally. So I'm loving that. We're gonna go eat.
Good enough. Yeah, dude, I hate this.
Yeah.
This stinks, man. Look, and here's the thing. In my bottom corner, right?
Yeah.
It looks absolutely crisp and clean in the bottom corner. So somewhere. Oh my God, Corinthia. She says Chrome does it too through StreamYard. So Corinthia, here's the thing. Chrome, well, she knows me. Chrome has never done this. Well, no, it has, but it's been a long time since this happened. And so I think I'm gonna believe what you said, James. It could be something like in this area at this time. That's one thing I heard Doc Rock say. Look, it's getting worse. Let's end this. Make me small, man. It's getting terrible. You just got me like big on the screen. Like put me in a small box. I look so bad.
There we go. All right.
It's like a big like blotch on the screen. Like I got.
Even Victor said he done with us. He gonna go watch cartoons because he don't
Oh
want to see what's happening here.
Man!
Listen, brother. Hey, do your thing. Have fun this weekend with the family. Memorial Day weekend, and
you
take
too.
some pictures.
Maybe soon I'll have a hat or something.
I see.
That hat is fire, dude.
I see you. Where'd I get this hat from? Hold on.
Neiman Marcus.
Well, no, that's right. This was from North. It was Nordstrom. Yeah, shouts out to Nordstrom. So
Versace. That's a Versace hat.
See, there you go. Now you just out here blaspheming. Just because your screen is now you blaspheming. So Let's just
Oh
turn.
man.
Yeah, Latrice said, "Look, turn the lights off one more time." All right,
Turn the
brother.
lights off. All
Turn
right,
them off.
man.
All right, man. Be well, everyone. Thank you for joining us every 2 weeks. KP and I come on here, Conscious Conversations. Just chop it up, have
Yes.
some fun. Join us next time when we do what we do, and hopefully this man has some decent internet. Pay that bill, brother. Pay that bill.